Hello and welcome back to another video. My name is Gordon Frayne and today we are looking at our weekly Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market update, as always at the end of every week. Before we jump into the video though, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button if you enjoy the content. Make sure you're subscribed. We are on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, and hit that bell notification icon because we are dropping multiple videos every single week and you're going to want to get notified when they drop to stay on top of the rapidly evolving crypto space and hit your crypto goals. So it has been another very busy and interesting week in the world of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. We're going to be taking a look at the overall market, and I think the biggest story of this past week has been Bitcoin just touching those previous all-time highs once again a few days ago. We breached the $69,000 mark before quote-unquote crashing back down about 8 to 10%. So just hitting those new all-time highs and then dipping back down before recovering over the past 48 hours once again. Currently sitting at 68,500, so inching back towards all-time high territory. And, you know, one would expect with all the momentum going on that we will break through 69,000 again very soon and be on a new journey of price discovery once we truly break that 69,000 mark. So even you can see we're increasing second over second, minute over minute here at the moment, but the overall market cap has gone again with some significant growth over the past 7 days. We've gone from about 2.3 trillion to about 2.6 trillion over the course of the past 7 days. So a huge amount of capital flowing into the space, and lots of capital flowing initially into Bitcoin, and altcoins are really starting to pick up steam over the past week or two as well. The fear and greed index, we are at a score of 81 as of today. We were even above that over the past few days, even up at 90 a few days ago, 83, 80. But, you know, with this new kind of paradigm with the whole ETF situation, you could argue that the fear and greed index is maybe not as reliable as it used to be, because we have just so much new capital flowing in from institutions and the floodgates are really opening. Moving on to look at the top gainers and losers for the past 7 days, it really has been a week for meme coins, and we can see Flocky, Shiba Inu, Pepe, Dog with Hat are all the biggest gainers over the past 7 days, all up over 100%, with Flocky being up over 260% itself. Some other notable movers, we've got Phantom, we've got Fetch AI. The AI narratives continue to be very important. We had Render performing pretty well on the AI narrative as well. Dogecoin, Near Protocol, Arweave and Kronos also performing very well. Uniswap up another 27%. Polkadot, Aave, Algorand all up over 20% in the past 7 days alone as well. Definitely much more gainers than losers, but there is a few losers. We've got Caspa, we have Sui down 8% over the past week or so. WorldCoin, Tron, Maker and VeChain down a little bit as well. And then Injective Stack, Celestia just down slightly on the week. So definitely more gainers than losers, but meme coins is the story of the week for the top performers. We are only 38 days away from the Bitcoin halving. The countdown is truly on. Estimated to take place around April 16th. This is a moving target. We will have the halving as soon as we hit a block height of 840,000. This is fast approaching. We know that there are about 800 to 900 Bitcoin entering circulation every single day right now. That amount gets cut in half to about 450 per day after this halving event takes place. And as we will see in a moment, the ETFs continue to accumulate close to 10,000 Bitcoin every single day. And after the halving, we are only going to have 450 Bitcoin entering circulation every single day. So we're going to continue to see the price squeeze upwards as a result of that huge demand. Bitcoin dominance is slightly down on the week, but still sitting above 50%. We are at about 53.5% as of right now. This time last week, we were sitting above 54%. So ever so slightly down on the week, but we did have a good run up with Bitcoin, approaching those all-time highs during the early stages of the week before we saw that come crashing down a little bit. So it's been recovering over the past few days, but capital did flow into altcoins and meme coins as a result of that. So we are seeing that pick up again ever so slightly, still sitting healthily above the 50% mark. So no concerns there. But as Bitcoin pushes through 69,000, we would expect this to stay above 50%. Moving over to the altcoin season index, and technically still not an altcoin month, although we are much closer to it being an altcoin month than it was in the previous few weeks, because this altcoin index score was down in the 20s and 30s the last couple of weeks, moving up to 53. It is more closer to 50-50 at least, but Bitcoin dominance being above 53% and hitting new all-time highs means that Bitcoin is still the star of the show. However, looking at the top 50 performers over the past month, we can see that it's crazy that Bitcoin is so far down this chart, being up over 50% in the past month alone, but there has been just some crazy performers here. Again, the meme coins dominating the show here at the top of the scale with Dog with Hat, Pepe, Flocky, all up over 700% on the month, which is some crazy gains if you are in the meme coin world. We've then got some of the other coins like Fetch, Shiba Inu, Bonk, Theta. We've got Uniswap up over 100%, Render up over 100%, Doge up over 100%, and then we've got Near Protocol, Chronos up over 80% on the month. So a huge amount of gainers. I think if you're in the space at the moment, it's hard not to be making money with some of your investments, but Bitcoin itself up over 50%, as we can see. And then TIA is down 11% on the month, but it had some very healthy performance over the past couple of months itself. So natural to expect a little bit of a retracement. Moving on to the stock to flow model. This is something we sometimes take a look at, but interesting to see here how Bitcoin has reverted to the mean when it comes to the stock to flow model. The dotted line here in this chart represents the date at which the halving will take place, and then we can see how the stock to flow ratio increases from there, because obviously we have the halving event and the amount of Bitcoin entering circulation every single year from now on is going to be cut in half, or every 4 years, sorry, and this cycle is about to hit with the halving in 37 days, as we said. So Bitcoin has reverted to the mean here, and it'll be interesting to see how much it will continue to scale upwards as a result of if it can follow or continue to follow this model or not. Again, this model does come under scrutiny sometimes, but so far, historically, Bitcoin has followed the model, and I guess we can say that the model is still true until it is broken. So interesting to see if Bitcoin can break that $100,000 threshold by September of this year, when the stock to flow model would estimate that to happen, and then potential cycle highs even above 400,000. Again, it'll be interesting if we can see the stock to flow model continue to ring true. Moving on to the top narratives and the top performers month to date for narratives. Again, wholeheartedly dominated by the meme coins. Memes are having a crazy run up, and we just saw that with the top gainers over the past week or so. Some other narratives that are performing well are AI, obviously, as we mentioned, account abstractions, ordinals, decentralized physical infrastructure, DEX's DeFi 1.0 and the Bitcoin narrative itself at about 17%. Some narratives underperforming this month so far. We've got NFTs, we've got wallets, we've got oracles, real world assets, app chains. So worth keeping an eye on the different narratives that are performing best over the course of the next few months. As we know, all of these narratives will have their own mini cycle within the bull run. So it's worth keeping an eye on the narratives that your digital assets are a part of, so that you can benefit from understanding your narrative cycles and where your assets may see peaks throughout the course of the bull cycle. Next up, moving on to the Bitcoin ETF tracker. So again, there seems to be no real slowdown when it comes to the 9 new Bitcoin spot ETFs and the amount of Bitcoin that they continue to accumulate on a day over day, week over week basis. We had some, I think, record breaking days over the past week or so with regards to BlackRock accumulating Bitcoin. They are now standing at about 191,000 Bitcoin accumulated as of the end of day yesterday, March 7th. So closing in on that 200,000 Bitcoin held mark for BlackRock. Fidelity are in second place with about 122,000 Bitcoin accumulated. ARK and Bitwise in this kind of middle ground with about 27 to 37,000 accumulated. And then on the bottom end of the scale, we've got Invesco, VanEck, Valkyrie, Franklin Templeton, and Wisdom Tree with about 800 to 5K Bitcoin accumulated respectively across each of those different ETF issuers. Moving down just to see this visualization, as we always do. This is the amount of Bitcoin that has been accumulated by all of the 9 new ETFs, excluding Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. And as you can see, we are over 396,000 Bitcoin accumulated, closing in on the 400,000 Bitcoin mark that has been accumulated by the 9 new US ETFs over the past less than 2 months. So this is a crazy number for the amount of Bitcoin that has been accumulated by solely 9 US ETF issuers, and excludes any other market accumulators outside of those ETFs. But the sheer amount of Bitcoin that has been accumulated by them is staggering. And as we mentioned, the amount of Bitcoin entering circulation is going to be cut in half next month. And if these ETFs continue to accumulate at the pace that they are, again, there's only one way for the price to continue to move. So we can see the total net inflows continues to rise. Obviously, we're not seeing any slowdown with regards to dips taking place or any sell-offs happening. We had some big days during the week for net inflows, 8.7 thousand, 10,000 for 4.7K, 5.7K of daily net inflows for new Bitcoin being purchased by all of the 9 new ETFs. So lots of exciting sentiment around Bitcoin, and the ETFs continue to push momentum and price upwards. Finally, we're going to look at the cycle low multiple. And again, what we have here is a chart that represents Bitcoin's performance over the past 3 eras, or the past 3 cycles, essentially, in the lead up to and the aftermath of the halving. So this line in the middle here with day 0 represents the date at which the halving has taken place across all 3 previous cycles. We've got the different eras denoted in the different colors, and then this current era where we are now is denoted in red here on the chart. As we can see, we are approaching the Bitcoin halving date in about a month's time, and what we can see here is with Bitcoin pushing all-time highs or pushing new all-time highs before the halving date, we can see that the red era here, which is our current era, is outperforming the other eras, maybe aside from era 2, but outperforming the other eras at this point in the cycle, because we have Bitcoin pushing these new all-time highs before the halving event even takes place. Again, what we typically have seen here is exponential price increases in the aftermath of the halving event, driven by that supply shock that happens during the halving. But we're seeing that begin to happen even earlier this cycle. It may be more akin to the second era here and what happened with the Bitcoin price in that particular era. Again, we have seen diminishing returns over the past 3 eras. Obviously, 2012 being an exceptional performer, and the aftermath of the 2012 halving, the aftermath of the 2016 halving in orange here, and the aftermath of the 2020 halving in green here. We have seen diminishing returns, but is that tide about to turn, and is that tide going to change now that we have the ETFs driving so much capital into Bitcoin and driving new all-time highs before the halving event even takes place? It certainly seems to be different this time around in terms of what is happening with price action before the halving. So again, very interesting to watch what happens over the next couple of months. So that is our Bitcoin weekly update for Bitcoin and the rest of the market. If you enjoy the content, please make sure to smash the thumbs up button below on your way out. We're on the road to our first 1,000 subscribers, so please make sure to smash that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video on your way out. Also, hit that bell notification icon. We are dropping multiple videos every single week, so you're going to want to get notified when they drop to hit your crypto goals. And as always, we will catch you in the next one.